So, and yeah, we're gonna see some consistency. Like we can see which player is the most consistent, because I've been told that during races, consistency tends to win out a lot. Oh, and I think we just got the go. And here we have Metal Man stage, which is the basic choice for this game, which is the fastest choice. And both taking rather cautious options. crazyapeboy opting to take damage, or just taking damage from that Springer, whereas Andy using a conservative strat there. There's a frame perfect jump there that you can jump over the Springer, but seeing as this is a race and you want to conserve some life energy for this part, because this is the gauntlet and this is the fiercest, like this is the make or break point in the stage, and a lot of people, a lot of players agree that this may be the hardest stage in the game. I think with Needleman's.
Ooh. crazyapeboy has a little bit low of health drops there, but he's still going on. That's quite good.
Yeah, and he has a little bit more HP, and him having an excellent way to set up the glitch Metal Man fight.
He has a trick to do it with 2 health bars, so that's maybe also a possibility. So
I need to adjust my volume for a bit.
now we get the glitch from Andy, and crazyapeboy has to do it with the traditional way because he has only 2 health bars, and you need at least 5 health bars to make the glitch work, or you have the Andy and that you can do it with 2.
Yeah, exactly. Piso, can you hear me now? Is my voice loud enough? I have no idea what I'm doing. My microphone's at max performance. So we got some nice weapon screen sync here. That's pretty cool. So now we're off the Woodman stage, and we see some excellent usage of the Metal Blade here. And there's some slight desync still on the streams, and I hope somebody's on that. And let's see if Crazy... Oh, and Andy going for the top route in Wood. And ooh, crazyapeboy taking a little damage, but getting that small health drop really helps here.
Both are going to the top level from Woodman, so let's see if that's going well.
Oh, and crazyapeboy takes a death in the top wood route, so this is why a lot of players opt to use Rush Marine here, because even though it costs 3 seconds, it also yeah, it provides you with the safety of not having to die there, or not having a chance to die. And that already, like, Woodman's already gone before you blink. Okay, so I seem to have fixed my mic problems now. So with that out of the way, I can finally concentrate on the actual gameplay. Andy having a lead of about 4 screens, I'd say. Oh wait, that's about to increase. I forgot there's like this whole weapon get screen, which takes about, I don't know, 9 seconds or something. So yeah, Andy building up quite a lead. So and okay, apeboy also managing to enter Airman stage. And here we see some nice advantage of playing on the European card is that those horns on the big goblin heads, or whatever they're called, they pop up slightly slower than the US or Japanese versions of the game, meaning that you can just jump on and slide and you will always be able to damage boost, where you have to be, the timing is really tight on the other versions. And I see that Andy has gotten that drop and has the optimal weapon energy for the quick kill on Airman, which is the quickest kill in the entire game, I think. Yeah, that was already the boss battle. It might have been only 2 seconds. It's absurd. But you really want that extra drop. There's a pretty good backup that I've seen Andy use, so it's not the biggest deal. It may lose him 2 or 3 seconds, or it may lose you 2 or 3 seconds if you do not get the drop. And Apeboy switching to the plasma gun, the Buster, for guarantee that he doesn't need to do that in the fight itself, which about equals out. So it doesn't matter where you switch to the Buster, like if you do it in the fight or during the Thunderlords or Kaminari Goro, I think the credits call them. And yeah, so still pretty good Airman stages here. You get to see a lot of Rush Jet uses here in Clashman stage, and this is a really nice stage. I really like the music. I really like these mountains. I think they're pretty well designed. They look pretty cool for like an 8-bit game. And Andy's not going for any. I think like he's only going for like 1 energy tank. I think crazyapeboy's standard routine also involves only 1 energy tank, which I think is pretty baller, as I used to, because I like the Needleman stages. Like I just take too much damage there, and I need that security. But these players are already like, yeah, they're already a notch ahead in that stage, and I think that's really cool to see. And he's showing off some new Rush Jet movement there. Like he grabs a letter a bit earlier than I think that was discovered just this week or maybe last week. I don't know. Like all the time is blending together. I don't even know what day it is anymore. But yeah. And let's see if he gets a double hit. Oh, did he just get that double hit? I think he just got that double hit. Well, maybe he didn't. But anyways, there's very, very, very attractive looking Clashman fight there.
Wow, he already has 4 lives, Andy. So he gained some there during the stages, but I didn't saw where.
Yeah, we were having some technical issues, but yeah, this game is basically like the Mega Man 5 NES in terms of drop rates. Like Mega Man 5 NES is notorious for its high chance of dropping 1-ups, and out of all the Mega Man Game Boy games, like I've never seen so many live drops as in this game, especially in this tournament. Oh, and crazyapeboy cutting it a bit close, and he doesn't have any air shooter left. But oh, that was a clutch clash fight, and that was nice. Oh, and here we have Magnet Man stage. I really like this stage. I really like this song. And here we see Andy using some diagonal metal blades to destroy some of those mag flies, which pull you up quite a bit, and it interrupts your momentum, which makes it about a second faster, I think. I'm not completely sure about that, but ooh, taking an unnecessary hit here and there, or from that big G Springer, Giant Springer. I think the G stands for Giant, but I really have no idea.
So we solved the problem with the time sync. They are now synced together, so we can better see the difference now and what the difference between them now are.
Yeah, definitely. And I just blanked out there for a minute. So I say about a full stage, or almost. Yeah, it's pretty close to a full stage lead for Andy at this point. crazyapeboy, of course, taking the death in top Woodman's route. So that's a pretty big setback. I just spoke to crazyapeboy just before the run, and he said he was having a lot of brain farts, so he had some hiccups. And a very, very clean Magnet fight. That's pretty much textbook, very close to textbook, or just textbook Magnet Man battle. That's how your Magnet Man battles are supposed to look. Like Magnet Man.
The last kill there.
Yeah, and you wanna like Magnet Man always does the exact same thing, but if you somehow manages up the timing for the shots or the placement, he will just do a magnet pull and he'll just eat away 3 seconds and won't take any damage.
Oh, will Andy do the magnets against the monkeys on the top in the area? That's the question, because he's implemented that new strat, so I'm quite curious if he's gonna go for it.
Yeah, we've already seen him, like, he's already switched to magnets, so I'm pretty sure he's going to. Like, he only discovered this new strat, I think, oh, very nice magnet fight from crazyapeboy. He only discovered that strat, like, last week, I think just a day before, or a couple of days before my match against tournament host John Calls. And I was able to, like, he immediately gave a masterclass, and I was immediately able to learn it thanks to his great explanation. And it's just, like, he's been, like, a real hero for this game, as he's just pushing the boundary further and further for what's possible in this game. And it's just amazing to see many runners come up with new strats for a game that was thought to be already completely planned out. There's been some pretty major changes. Here's one of the easier boss battles, which is ironically called Hard Man, but he's not very hard. And the thing is, and that was the quickest kill possible, so nice. The thing is, like, if you do the monkey takes 4 magnets, and Hard Man takes 5, and you only have 9, so you can't miss a single shot. This is this very reason why crazyapeboy is like, I'm not gonna kill that monkey. Even without killing the monkey rushless, doing this stage rushless still saves some time, but the major time saves come from not menuing twice and that killing that monkey and not having to take the damage and the time there. But you don't want to mess Hard Man up. Like, it's a pretty big time sink if you miss only one of the magnets. So very understandable.
Oh, we're getting close from the one perfect zip here, one frame, and it's a frame difference when you transform to zip.
Ooh.
Yeah, that is the one that we need. Wow, Andy did it like perfectly in one time. So there's like 2 letter zips still coming up, and I think he will also get it in. Whoa! That last one is like, oh man. Oh, he did it really perfect in the air.
Yeah, what he does there, or at least as far as I can see, like, he grabs the ladder for a frame and immediately releases, because the timing window for that second ladder zip is actually pretty wide. Doesn't stop me from messing it up all the time, but whatever. But Andy's way of zipping is beyond anybody else I've ever seen. Like, the up zip in Needleman, the zip here, the second ladder zip here. And the thing is, like, on a ladder, the zips are relatively free, because you can just press A and B together and you'll get the zip. But for free fall, which we'll see crazyapeboy do right now, you need to get a frame perfect shot as Mega Man, like on the exact last frame before the screen transition. You have to fire the hard knuckle. That allows the screen to wrap and push you down a whole screen, which in some cases causes some really nice shortcuts, but in other cases causes you to get either back to the start of the stage or, in the worst case, soft lock. And there are some really interesting musical glitches in Needleman, or unlocked in Needleman stage as well. You won't be seeing them in this tournament, but they're really fun. They add to the already great soundtrack this game has. So, like, this is a game that just keeps on giving. And there it was. Like did you even see how low effort he made that upzip look? I was, I would say it's frustrating, but it's also very beautiful. So I'm not that frustrated, because it's just amazing. And getting a no, I think he wanted to use that small drop for the hard knuckle there. And apeboy also getting the 1 cycle on Top Man, which is basically just killing him with 5 hard knuckles before he spins around. And it's very free, but even still, I've seen a lot of people mess it up. Oh, and another small drop. Wow, that's some big luck here, because the RNG for this game, like, if you want ideal speed, you have to get at least one hard knuckle drop. So that's some really good luck for Andy right there.
I think if crazyapeboy also want to go for the upsip, he really needs a one extra weapon drop for the hard knuckle. Oh,
And
he's not go for it.
Nah, apeboy deciding to conserve a little more hard knuckles for the next stage. And meanwhile, Andy finishing off relatively cleanly against Neilman, or very clean because I wasn't looking because was paying attention to crazyapeboy's not upsipping. And I love how flexible Rush is in this game. He just, like, the movement is very akin to Mega Man 3 on the NES, Rush Jet. And it also works in the same way, which I forgot to explain earlier, but if you jump... Oh, and he misses the LP zip. That's a shame. Rush Jet only depletes energy as long as you're standing on Rush Jet. So if you're not standing on a jet by, say, jumping in the air the entire time, like a madman, you would not waste weapon energy, which is nice because these stages don't replenish your weapon energy because they act like the Wily stages, because this game only has 9 stages.
crazyapeboy only has 1 energy tank, so he has to do the fight for Needle with his health bar, what he still has.
Yeah, that's not gonna be a problem because Needleman only does 4 body damage and those needles only do 1, so this cool dance battle is about to come to an end.
Oh, okay, he nailed it.
That was a pretty amazing pattern. And meanwhile, we have Andy here going to the final stage, and he's in the final stage at 16 something. Oh, and he gets the first Wily zip and the ladder zip.
Imagine that, man.
Go for the swagger, go for the swagger. Oh!
No swag zip.
He misses the final zip. But that's okay, because the backup is relatively free and only costs like 2 or 3 seconds tops.
Yeah.
And here we have the Mega Man from the future, Quint, which is hitbox is already there before the fight even really starts, so that makes this fight easier than it already is. And another thing that might be worth explaining for the people that haven't been paying too much or haven't seen this game before is that if you slide in this game, it works unlike any other Mega Man game. You can just tank through enemies and obstacles by sliding. Mega Man has super armor when he's sliding. He doesn't even care when he's sliding. And what he does is basically the hit back animation, so where he's like falling back and with his mouth open and stuff, like as long as you're in the slide, the timer for the knockback animation counts down. So if you do it very well, you can actually cancel the entire knockback animation. And here we have Ostrich Wily, the final boss. So this is a 3-phase fight, and the first one's Ostrich Wily. Now we have Go-Kart Wily, and later will be Super Jurassic World T-Rex Wily. And neither of the bosses are really challenging, but the final phase has some really nice double hits that you can get in if you time it right. And it's kind of tricky. It's not super hard like the Frame Perfects, but it's not super free either, like the ladder hits or anything. I love this form. I love dinosaurs. I love everything about dinosaurs, and I love that this is a T-Rex, even though he does very little other than flip his tail. And that's GG to Andy with a shocking time of 18:25, or I don't know if that's the speed.
GG Andy. Yeah.
Yeah, GG to Andy to round 1.
He finally got Chilla. Wow.
Wilyzilla, yeah.
So we're switching over to Crazy Ape sounds now.
Okay, I'm gonna look at the Speed Gaming channel if I can, and I can. And meanwhile, we have crazyapeboy also entering the final boss. Even with that death, he still made pretty great time. Like look, yeah, okay. So focusing on this fight now. So he has a lot of Rush Jet left. He also has some life left, but he will still use the energy tank and Sakugan here because you really need the health for the second phase because you're gonna take body hits from Wily, and like damage is substantial, and the final form really can't do that much to you. Like, it literally has 2 attacks. Like, every form has 2 attacks, and one is a bouncy thing. Like, the third boss has, like, he flips his tail and he throws these orbs at you or whatever you are having. And the other one's a homing missile with a cute face on it. Not really sure. Look, it's like it's trying. Were those Goombas? I think Wily's just firing Goombas because copyright infringement is a-okay. And getting in some double hits there. And GG's to A-Boy with a time of 20:03, 20:04, I guess.
On crazyapeboy, man. Oh man, that was a race for sure. Wow.
Yeah, that was pretty sick. So
That-
here we see like Andy's consistency is just insane. Like how do you compete with this? Like I'm
Yeah.
really asking like do you have to pray to a specific god or do you have to do some kind of ritual that might give you a chance? Like this is like 13 seconds away from his personal best. That's absurd. And a thing of beauty to watch, really. So crazyapeboy is still putting up a really good fight, all things considered.
I think there's a win mistake there. I'm gonna change that.
Did you also press +1?
No, I didn't do that.
Huh, that's strange. I didn't do that either. Huh. And mine says 1. Oh, whatever. It doesn't matter anyways. Hammer Joe. Oh, Fiesel, you do the...
Yeah. So.
Okay, so Fiesel, do you want to do the scores?
Music.
Can I do the scores, or do you want? I mean, I'm okay with either. Okay, okay, I'll do it. I'll take that work. I'll take that heavy workload off your back. Good sir. So let me check the channel for Speedruns Live. So the official race and the time for Andy was... Oh man, I can't even read right now. Like my... Can I... Oh, 1840 is... Oh no, wait. Andy has finished first place with a time of 1830. But that still takes into account the time he has to take to type done. And A-Boy finished with 20:05, which is pretty close to his split time. I always let the live split go and just enter the done first before that, like, because that's what truly matters, I think. And in that match between Hard Selection and A-Boy, which there was only a 1 second difference, like that could be a life or death situation. So yeah. And the players are rejoining the race.
They really choose the best day to do this, man, the race, because also Capcom USA, they already introduced the new Mega Man 11. That will be
about that. I don't know anything about that game, and I really don't want to until I play it. So please, no spoilers.
It's not a spoiler. It's only introduced. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay, thanks. Like I'm trying to dodge the spoilers like crazy. Yeah, because I just want to.
I see the race is starting again.
Yeah, is it? Okay, cool. So both players are playing on the European version. Very small differences between the US, Japanese, and European version. But there's one tile in Top Man stage where you can slide under a big metal on a bulldozer, and you can't do that in the European or in the US or the Japanese versions. And the other pro of the European version is the Airman Goblin heads, the little drills. Come up slower, which makes the stage significantly easier. And we're off to round 2.
Let's go!
Andy again going for that conservative HP strat, which is kind of surprising because I've seen him get the frame jump at the start of the game, which is a pretty hard jump. I've seen him get it pretty consistently. But again, this is a race, so it makes sense because you want to have that extra HP here. This is the beast. Like, so many resets here. like Izzy, how many resets have you had in this stage? Do you even remember how many times you reset because of this very part right here?
I know for sure it's like 80% or something from my runs, man. Metal Man is like one of the ones you really want to have the RNG there.
Yeah, very small bit of RNG, but you do want that.
And like 5% is really like selecting the wrong stage. That can happen.
Yeah, I've seen that happen to like a couple of players in the tournament as well. Like I always set my Game Boy down to do oh, and there's another life drop. I guess this is Mega Man 5, and there was a big health drop, allowing Andy to damage the hero boss. And crazyapeboy, I don't think he knows the Endy setup. I'm calling it the Endy setup. It might not even be his setup, but it is the Endy setup for Metal Man Glitch. And I'm wondering if crazyapeboy will go for it.
You don't need the Endy setup. You can still do it with normal. With
crazyapeboy opting for the ultra classic, the classicest of classic strats on Metal Man. Which proves like that Metal Man is just a really easy boss all the way around, and Andy getting the glitch fight. And what happens is that if you are on the right side of Metal Man after he lands from throwing metal blades, he will not know what to do. The game will not know what to do. Nobody in this game knows what to do, but Metal Man least of all. So he jumps into the right wall, gets stuck, and if he jumps out again and jumps to the left, he'll get stuck in that wall. He'll get stuck everywhere. Yeah, allowing you, like, he won't even be able to do anything anymore, and just like free pelting, you can just and makes the fight even easier than it already is, but more importantly, it also makes it quite a bit faster. Or I think it's 1.5 seconds, so it's not even that big, but when you're grinding for those low 18 times like NES, then you want every possible second you can get. Like the sub 18 dream isn't happening yet. There haven't been any new major discoveries that make it possible, and he's definitely pushing the game with his 18012, getting close to that 180X dream. But the sub 18, even his sum of best isn't sub 18, so it's very unlikely that we'll be able to see that.
There's not a lot of difference between, it's like 6 seconds what we see now, so crazyapeboy is really pushing it up now with stages.
Yeah, and he's almost, I think he's like 2 or 3 screens behind, and of course he didn't die on the top wood, or he didn't die on Woodman, so this is pretty great.
Yeah, he's doing quite well now. I think he's more comfortable, less nerves.
Yeah, definitely. Like the first run's always the hardest, whether you win or lose. Like and Andy trying to quick kill Woodman there. You can actually hit Woodman outside of his leaf shield while he's still holding it, but it's pretty. There's very tight spots in between the leaves where you can hit him. But I haven't been able to do it very well. But I've seen Andy pull it off a bunch of times, and yeah, it's a very, very cool strat. This game is filled with a bunch of cute little time improvising, and at a certain point, it becomes more about movement optimization than it is about getting the big zips. Like you can get a PB and a zip, like you can still get a personal best with a missed zip, and it's just adds to how much fun this game stays to speedrun, even though getting an ultimate personal best would allow you to get at least 4 or 5 frame perfect tricks, which is hard to do consistent for anyone. And a major difference is, between the NES Mega Man games and Game Boy Mega Man games is that the Game Boy Mega Mans, they tend to borrow 50% of the bosses from one game and 50% of the next. So Mega Man 1 on the Game Boy has the 4 Robot Masters from 1, 4 from 2. The missing 4 Mega Man 2 Robot Masters from this game. So, and this carried on until I think Mega Man 4, and in Mega Man 5 on the Game Boy they come up with 8 original bosses, which was pretty cool. So most of the Mega Man Game Boy games are like really incredible fun, but this one is definitely the easiest. So if you're new to speedrunning, if you're new to Mega Man, this is a great way to start. This is my first Mega Man game I've ever owned. It's Izzy's first Mega Man game. It's 8boy's first ever owned Mega Man game. So it's first for a lot of people, and it's a very good good place to start off of. Very clean airman fights from both players here.
Yeah, it's quite clean for both of them. We can see that there's a little gap between them. It's really consistent playing now, both.
Yeah, definitely here. We even got a little bit of weapon screen sync there, so that's always nice. And I'm always happy to see like a sub 6 minutes entering Clashman, and he just entered it with 5:55. What a beast. And Ape-Boy just about 11 seconds behind, I think. That would make him 11 seconds behind, I think. And here again, we get to see lots of rush jet usage. There's a little quirk, another unique thing about this game. If you jump on top of Rush as he's spawning, you will slide off. Rush will not register you standing on top of him, so pressing up or down does nothing. Pressing left or right just allows you to slide off. I hope you don't get to see it, but I got to see, like, and I think it was in your match yesterday or in the first round, the other resisting frame got a bad dog at the spot that Andy's about to come up above this bottomless pit, and he slid off Rush straight to his death, and it was hilarious. It was, I mean, like, I saw it after the fact, so it was hilarious for me, but I can imagine for resisting frame to like it was not
that was really a bad dog. I can say that, man, because he was respawning and he had 2 deaths there directly after. Almost the 3rd time Rush didn't respawn again.
Yeah, he really had some bad Rush, bad dog. Like, he really should have hired Caesar Milan to train Rush for him. But, and there's that aggressive... Oh, and there's a very nice dodge, jumping over Clashman, and he just does not care. And finishing off a very clean. So let's see if Ape-Boy goes for that very, very nice.
Oh, maybe Mello can add it in the chat, the bad dog reaction.
Ooh. And that was Clashman. Very nice fight from Crazy Ape-Boy there. He didn't even end up with only minimal health, so pretty good.
Did Crazy Ape-Boy go for the energy tank from the first one, or he didn't catch that one?
No, I don't think he did. I would be surprised if he went for that second energy tank, because he's already pressed for time against Endy. So, to the stretch of my imagination, I just don't see that happening. Like, he doesn't need it anymore. I do, but he doesn't.
Okay, that is also possible.
Yeah. And here we see Dr. Wily with his primals. It's like, why is he not wiggling his eyebrows? Like, that would have made this game, like, perfect. Like, if only Dr. Wily had wiggled his eyebrows. I know you guys can't see me right now, but I'm doing it for Dr. Wily, because somebody needs to wiggle those eyebrows.
No, he didn't grab the energy tank in Crash, because he only has one, what I saw in this menu.
See, told you. And getting another Mega Man 5 TM live drop right there. This game is... See, this is what I was talking about. And people say, like, this game doesn't have a higher drop rate for 1-ups. But, like, the evidence is right here. Like, in this tournament, we've seen so many... Even, like, I think it was Sprinting Legs her first match, and she just got, like, 9 or 10 lives. It was absurd. It was absurd! I mean... I love this game. I love the stupidity of those things. I love Bad Dog. I love the hard knuckle zips. It's just great. So here you see what I was talking about earlier, hopping on Rush, on Crazy Ape-Boy scheme, hopping on Rush. And here we see the Yoku blocks, which are also different from any other Mega Man game, as they're on a kind of a global timer, so they can desync with each other. It's very weird. And they're also smaller, and you can jump through them, like when they've appeared. Whereas on Mega Man on the NES, you can only jump through them as they're appearing, so it'll push you up. And that's a 10-minute finish from Endy on Mega Man, so very curious to see. So this will give us a good opportunity to gauge how much Ape-Boy is behind. As he, I think it's about 23 seconds, I'd say, around 23. Yeah, that's what I thought. And here we have Hardman stage. and the bees, which is a meme apparently, because I've seen people not the bees or something like not like bees and stuff, and I don't get it because I'm old and I wasn't around for those memes. So yeah, but yeah, those bees. But this stage, like much like the boss, isn't very hard. It's actually the easiest stage in the game, aside from a few tight tricks like what Andy just did there, the Magnet 8 kill, which is the Andy strat TM. But yeah, nothing in this stage does any real damage. Oh, and he tried to go for the get good jump, but the Hammer Joe said, "Not today, bro. Not today,
yeah,
bro."
Yeah.
But still, like, look at it. Look at that life gauge. You can just tank through everything. Mega Man is so bulked. Like, if I had to draw Mega Man from this game, like according to what he can handle in this, I would draw him like a JoJo's or a Dragon Ball Z character because he's just so bulk. Like, his sprite should be twice as big as Hardman. That's how bulk Mega Man feels in this game.
The fun part of this in this game is this is the first introduction that the rush jet is implemented and the sliding compared with the first Mega Man on the Game Boy.
Yeah, so yeah, like sliding was first introduced in Mega Man 3 on the NES. Energy tanks were first introduced on Mega Man 2 on the NES. Rush was introduced also in 3. But Dr. Wily's Revenge, the first Mega Man game on the Game Boy, has no energy tanks, has no rush, and has no what's the other thing? Slide. Yeah, so that's like Dr. Wily's Revenge is ridiculously hard. I actually saw Andy's world record for that too, and it was a thing of beauty, especially because I never want to play that game again because it's so hard. Like it's ridiculous. And Andy's speedrun is like, if you haven't watched the world record for Dr. Wily's Revenge, I advise you to do that in the near future because it really, like, I actually had like a tear in my eye at the end because it was just so beautiful. And Andy missing the frame perfect zip there. Like, very few players have gotten that consistently. I know, like, from one of his streams that he got it like 11?
Six times, or I think 6 times in a row he got it.
I know that in he was practicing the other day and he got it out of 11, he got it 10 times in a day. Like, I think 10 times in a row, and that's like insane.
Well, okay, yeah, that's much better, man.
Yeah, that's 1/60th of a second, 60th. Am I pronouncing it right? I don't know. Anyways, so yeah, A-Boy doing a lot. I think he was doing pretty good, like in the first game, but like he's so much closer now. Like if Andy would slip up, I think there's a minimal chance, but like if he does, it might actually become a lot closer. And like I said, for these players, getting the one cycle on Top Man is very it's just commonplace. Like after a certain point, Top Man just isn't even on your radar anymore. And at that exact point, you'll like do you see that? Like there's no, how is that even a boss battle? Like that's a mid boss right there. You just fire 5 hard knuckles into him. It's just definitely one of the easiest bosses.
He just had the perfect one cycle there, man. That's quite important to have.
Yeah, but even if you get hit, it's not a big deal because it aligns you. Oh my god! Did you see that zip?
He got again the perfect zip there.
Oh, perfect zip followed by a bad dog. My day is complete right now. That was the perfect level of amusement for today. So Rush being a bad dog, straight after getting like the smoothest percent of smoothest in uptips, and getting a small drop for getting 2 small drops. Correction for Rush Jet is also pretty useful. As yeah, you will not run short on rushes. And Andy doing the LP zip to get that large hard knuckle refill, which eliminates part of the RNG required for getting the small drops for hard knuckle. And oh, and he again gets the small drop from Hammer Joe. This is absurd. Like this, like wow, that's really nice. And yeah. So now we're gonna see another dance-off between Needleman and Mega Man's third spin.
crazyapeboy got also the zip now, finally.
Yeah, nice. So you'll end up with a little bit less hard knuckle, but still more than enough. Oh, and he also, I might need to start doing that. If the small drop there has a high chance, then it's definitely worth killing that Hammer Joe. I need to contemplate this, but not right now as I'm commenting. Oh, look at that art.
If
Don't
you
you
wait there for a couple of seconds, you'll get a full health drop there.
Oh, okay. Don't you just love that weapon get art? I think it's my favorite art in like there are some very cute Mega Man and Rush art in the game booklets. It's just like I'm not a dog person, but I would adopt Rush. If Rush was a puppy, like he's a bad dog, but I would still adopt him. Like I love Rush. Like he's a bit disobedient. He's not very obedient, but such a good dog most of the time. And we got some weapon screen sync. Not the same weapon, but still nice. I always love the weapon screen syncs. And cool trick here on the Quint fight. The third row of those blocks you can see in the background is where Quint's hitbox is before the fight even starts. So it's a very easy, it's very easy to line up your shots and still miss the first clash bomb or any clash bomb, or just any shot in general. And
oh
wow.
my god! In
Smooth
one
percent.
shot, really. Oh, not the swag zip. I was really like he got the perfect zips there.
Yeah, but that swagger zip has been trolling Andy for quite a bit now. He didn't get it in his 1812. And,
yeah, it's always switching between him. Or he has the up zip, or he has the down zip there.
Yeah, it's hard to be consistent, but like in his 1812. Oh, and 8boy gets the zip as well. Very
wow.
nice.
Will he get the swag zip?
Oh, nope. Nobody gets the swagger zip today. And what was I saying? Oh yeah, so like if Andy would have gotten the swagger zip in his 18012, it would have been 1809, I think, combined with one other thing. So yeah, then his grind would be over. But unfortunately for him, he has to grind for a bit longer. And I say unfortunately, but I mean like, yes, more Mega Man 2! Like, who doesn't want to play this game forever? I sure do. I've been playing it for... Okay, let me do the math. Oh god, I suck at math. Okay, I'm 31 now, and I started playing this game when I was 6. 25 years? 25 years, that's right. See, I can do math. It takes me a while because I'm kind of slow, but I got there. Oh wow, this is gonna be pretty crazy time for Andy again, I think. And Go-Kart White is just firing his orbs. God, I really love the background in this final stage. A lot of clocks. Some of Dali's persistence of memories clocks and stuff, and it's very... Yeah, but this final boss fight doesn't have any backgrounds. It's a little more bland, but... Yeah, I like Tiny Wily's contraptions. And, yeah. So...
Let's go for the Wilyzilla. Yeah, almost.
And
wow.
GG to Andy.
GG, Andy, man. Whoa.
1836 and 1825. That's another 11-second difference. It's still like low to mid 18s from Andy. Like I've only seen him get like 119, 1903, I think, in the entire tournament, which has been 2 matches so far. So that's not a lot of matches. I don't know. Anyways, 8boy finishing off that final Wily fight, taking extra care to get in those double hits. And look at that health. And GG, that's a very nice time from 8boy right there. It wasn't enough to catch up to Andy, but what a performance.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, this was great. This was like, wow, such high performance here. So let's see if we can get these runners in, because they're so, like, they're already done. So let's see if we can get these runners in here.
I see that Andy is already in the setup, so that's a quite good thing. So I think he will join in a second.
Yo, Andy, GG's, congratulations.
Yo, Elpis, how you doing? Thank
GG,
you.
Andy.
Hey, yes.
So that was a pretty sick performance. Like both runs, just like, especially the first was like, wow, yeah, like so close, like such a low 18 time there. and you didn't even go like all out in the Metalman stage at first, so that makes it extra terrifying.
Yeah, I mean, in a race you can never go all out in the Metalman stage because it's just too risky, and I don't know, it's like 3-4 seconds. Well, the second Metalman stage was pretty bad, that was like 5 seconds. It's usually around 3.5 seconds difference if you go a little bit safer. It's fine for a race. You can still make a good time. Can even potentially make a world record, even though it's highly unlikely. It's fine. I mean, that's the only stage. I said it before, but Metalman and Needleman are the only stages which require maybe a little safe play. Otherwise, you can just go all out everywhere.
Yeah, this game is pretty easy, but like, yeah, Metalman and Needleman especially, that's why I think it's pretty cool that both you and Apeboy go with just one energy tank, because I don't have the guts for that, man. I like to slide through those needles, and I've seen you get, like, with the up-zip, I've seen you get like a really good cycle on the needles, because I'm very slow on the up-zip, I usually don't get or I'm slow somewhere else anyway, I don't get that great cycle, so it makes it even more risky for me to go without the energy tank. So I think it's really cool. I really enjoy these matches from both of you. It's really a spectacle.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, you can actually get a bad pattern from the needles, even if you're fast with the up-zip. I'm not sure exactly 100% what causes the timers there. So, but I was lucky in well, at least in the first race here, I got a good cycle. In the second one was a bit more scary, but as long as you can take 2 hits from, well, optimally you want to be able to take 2 hits from the body of Needleman if he gives you the pattern where it doesn't shoot. So, and I had enough health for that, so it was fine, thankfully.
Yeah, on both tries. So that was really comforting. Like I was never fearful or never scared for either of your lives during the various boss battles. Most boss battles are easy, but like we've seen people die in Magnet Man, we've seen people die against Needleman and Clashman, and you just like your Clashmans are like on a whole other level, and it's kind of scary to watch, because I'm all like Clashman still, like, yeah, so many people have died in Clashman, and both of you did such a great job on Clashman's day.
It's a scary fight indeed. It's really hard to time. As in most other bosses, the projectiles do less damage than body hits. So you kind of have to time your movements so you get hit by his crash bomb instead of his body. However, with the route change, the quite recent route change on the left side, the long fall off Clash, you get a little more health, so you can take 1 additional body hit. I mean, if you fail one of the bomb hits, but. Other than that, the inspiration from the fight comes from Mega Man 2 NES, actually, where there's a quite new found by Prissy there, where you shoot air shooter to the left to make him jump, basically, and because you shoot the air shooter to the left, they despawn so fast, so you can shoot another shot instantly. And wow. If you see my fight there, the second hit I do in the Clashman fight is really, really close to the left side of the wall, so the air shooter kind of despawns, so you can shoot the third hit instantly after, so you can get 4 hits in per jump cycle instead of 3. Basically. And that's the idea behind it. And you can get a double hit in, which I recently discovered as well on the 4th hit, which I almost got this run as well. I got it in the warm-up run before the race. It's, I can show you later.
Yeah, definitely. So what I want to ask about that then is, like on that close to the wall hit, do you actually hug the wall when firing that air shooter? Because
almost. If you hug the wall completely, you will miss him probably. It depends on how far to the left he is, but it's actually it's actually better to let him walk a little bit further to the left. So your instinct tells you to hit him as fast as possible. Yeah. But depending on which jump, depending on how close you are to him when you make your first shot, he gives you a short jump or a bit further jump, and depending on what he gives you, you have to wait for him to go closer to the corner before you actually fire, because otherwise you will miss, basically. And if you're too far to the left, the air shooter will take too much time to despawn. So you have to get the feeling for it. It's a bit complicated. It's more complicated than it looks.
Yeah, Clashman is definitely like the most technical fight. Meanwhile, we also got crazyapeboy here with us. So GG's crazyapeboy.
Hey guys, thanks for
Yo,
the
GG, man.
And GG to you, Andy. Very good races, man. So consistent.
Thank you, man. Thank you. But you had a good second race as well. I saw your death early in the first run, so that was a bit of a bummer. But yeah, the second race was good. I mean, 1916 is not a bad race time. It will probably beat most people, I would say, in the tournament.
Oh yeah, I'm very glad that the second time, like in the first race, I had such a bad Metalman stage. I thought, okay, let's just try to make a fast wood, and then I didn't really pay attention to my health and took that unfortunate death. So yeah, that was not good.
Yeah, it happens in a race. So
yeah, of course.
Yeah, and I think you more than compensated for it in the second race, because like in between talking, I was primarily focusing on your boss battles, and like. You just got very, very nice, clean boss battles on pretty much everything. Like I couldn't really find a lot of flaws. Like in the stages, I kind of missed some stuff, but yeah, I was very like, especially the second one, but even the first. Like if you take the time from the death, that would still be like a mid 19, which is a pretty darn great race time right there. So. I think regardless of even with that, I think you're still pretty happy with both these runs, right?
Oh yeah, I'm glad. Like I think it was a low 20 time with that death and a pretty bad Metalman stage. So yeah, all in all, I'm glad. It was okay. It could have been worse.
Yeah, I think you did a really great job on a lot of stuff in the stages, and like both you guys' boss battles were just. Pleasure to watch.
Thank you.
So do you guys want do you have some remarks or some stories you want us to tell, or some cool anecdotes or quotes?
I don't know. I think you probably covered most of it already. It was fun races. My best race performance in the first game ever. So that was good. I unfortunately mistyped .on, so I lost like 4 or 5 seconds in the SRL time. But yeah, that was really fun matches. And thank you for commenting, guys, as always. I'm gonna rewatch the race before I go to bed, probably. And thank you to Speed Gaming, as usual, for hosting the tournament, and John Carls for putting it together, as usual. So who is the next? How is the brackets looking now? That's fine.
Yeah,
let me
it's quite interesting for Andy, because you're going on, and we're still waiting on the Tremaine and Krister race in the round 3. That will versus Elpis. So from that one, that will go to the semi-final. That's going against Andy.
Yeah.
So what do you expect? What's going on there? What's
my prediction?
Who do you think? Yeah, your prediction now.
Yeah, I mean, Krister has been doing some progress in the game, but Tremaine is no offense, Krister, but Tremaine is unfortunately for you gonna win. Then in the Elpis Tremaine game, man, I'm not sure about that one. Sure, Tremaine has a better PB, but it's only seconds. I know that Tremaine has been. I don't think he's been practicing, the past days or maybe the past week that much. But before that, he actually, he's been practicing most of the new strats that I've come up with, and I haven't seen him done the Elpis SIP, but I think he's been practicing everything else and experimenting with some stuff. So I wouldn't count him out. I think Elpis has been playing more. I mean, you've been playing more. Consistently recently, so I think you have a good chance. So I have a hard time predicting that. I'm gonna stick my head out and say that Elpis is going to win.
Well, I really appreciate that, but yeah, that's like, I haven't seen like the only match Tremaine has played so far. He wasn't really like into it, so I didn't really get to gauge his potential very well. But I know that my guard is up. Like, I'm not gonna I'm assuming that Tremaine wins from Chrissy. I'm definitely gonna give it my all. Just to see, so I can lose to you in the semifinals.
Well, we'll see about that. But But yeah, your guard should of course always be up. I never play based on opponents. I always go all out. So
yeah, that's the only way to play. Like you can, if you let your guard down, it's just another opening your opponent could use against you.
Yes.
Yeah, and while we're on that bracket, let me just because like yeah, so Andy, you're obviously progressing to the semifinals, and Izzy already covered pretty much the winner bracket. So in the loser bracket upcoming, we have Mr. MKL versus Mellow Flows, which is the last round 2 match, and then we have Hard Selection versus Grand Hero, K-Day Mia versus Izzy, John Carls versus the winner of Mr. MKL and Mellow Flows, which is a very hard call to make. Also, I think no, I'm not even gonna call it. And then Charlie Boy will, if we assume that Jermaine wins, will have to face Chris. But that's still like the match hasn't been fought, so it's very early. And so that covers most of the losers rounds 3 and 2. So I think that covers pretty much all of the bracket. And didn't really get any final notes from A-Boy, so I'm very curious to see if he has anything he would like to add.
No, not really. I'm just glad it's over.
Okay, that's also possible.
Yeah. I know you're not super talkative, I guess, but I still wanted to see if you had some major wisdom bombs to drop.
Unfortunately, not.
Well, thank you guys so much for the race. It was absolute fun. It was amazing, and thank you for playing. Thank the viewers for watching. Chat. John Carls, Fiesel, Cyclone, Speed Gaming, everybody. Just thank everybody, follow everybody, do everything. Yeah, and that's my final thing to say. So thanks for watching.
Thank you guys. Have a good night.
Thank you guys, everyone, and so.